perish. This shit hot, boy.
Shawty catch a vibe, yeah, I had to put her on. Bought a two-seater, yeah, we heading for the sun. Shawty got my heart, I ain't tripping for the funds. Yeah, I won't start, I ain't tripping, I'm a stun. Oh, living lively. Everybody tryna ride my wave, they can ride me. Pull up in a foreign to the curb, looking icy. I ain't never stressed about a fit, I'm a hype it. Want more friends, is a problem.
So I will tell you this, I am not used to doing my own maintenance. I'm a little fearful in some ways. I say that only to say is I don't want to mess nothing up, you know, because I'm not, I guess, mechanically inclined in a lot of ways. Funny thing is I did work as an HVAC technician for the United States Air Force. And before that, I was a grunt in the United States Infantry in the Army. So I did not really take well to construction work, to be honest with you. I didn't break anything or destroy anything. I just was always self-conscious that I didn't do it right, or, you know, always double checking and triple checking. Became I was like OCD-ish when it came to making sure I had my stuff right. So it's got these two rubbery things that you stick in here. And so that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just following the instructions as best I can. Like I said, I'm not very mechanically inclined. So we are trying to follow the instructions to the best of my ability. But don't make fun of me, all right? It is what it is. And just like I said, I did do it wrong initially. So these rubber holes here, I'm gonna take one out for you. Basically, and you ain't gonna really be able to see it. Maybe if I put my light up a little bit, I don't know. But you know, on this hose, you'll see maybe like, I don't know. Wow, they're like two marks, I guess mold marks. Well, that's the wrong way. That should not be pointing outward. And I just realized that as I was putting these things together. You kind of squish it in there, get it in there nice and even and flat. And then, of course, it's the smooth side that's supposed to be presentable to the public as you're moving on. So let me fix that real quick. And like I said, this is not a how-to video. This is just some dude trying to figure his way around motorcycles and touring. So now I got those in correctly, I believe. I am trying to follow the instructions because that is something I'd like to make sure I do. Instructions are actually right here. So I'm trying to follow the instructions just to make sure I get it right, of course, just to put them together. It's not something that's too terribly hard, to be honest with you. So just make sure you follow the instructions and use the washers they give to you to ensure a good seal and tightness. You know, that's very important if you're going to be doing this for your bike. I like the way it looks on motorcycles myself. So I'm going to put them on both my bikes, my Lowrider ST and the Indian, and I think it'll turn out well. I think, you know, and I'm sure, you know, you've been riding for a minute, or even if you're a new rider, you may have seen them on other people's bikes. They look really good on bikes. In particular, look at Sensei's video regarding the Memphis Shades. That's how I found that kind of got on them. And, you know, they look really good on the Beast. So he put his on, and I was like, you know what? Casper might look really nice with that, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna try to elevate the ride a little bit. So I will tell you this, I am a little cautious because this, you know, it feels like fiberglass, plastic, however you want to call the material. So when you're tightening it, use these washers, the rubbers. I think it's meant to protect the actual item. So, and be careful not to over tighten. That's a concern of mine. I don't want to over tighten the product, and then next thing you know, it's cracking the $89 Memphis Shades I just purchased, because I think that's how much they cost, if I'm not mistaken. It was like $89, and you know, you don't want to mess that up. I'm gonna start on the other one and get back with you. So I will tell you, while I was sitting here looking for tools, I realized I don't have one of my tools. To be exact, I need a 17 millimeter wrench. And I don't have a 17 millimeter wrench. And I looked at all of my tools, with all kinds of different sizes, and if I got one, it's certainly missing in action. So, with that being said, I'm gonna put these together, come back at you, go get me a 17 millimeter. It's a little late right now, so I'm probably gonna do this on the next day. And stop by Ace or somewhere, one of these hardware stores, see if I can get me a 17 millimeter wrench. Well, I told you I'd be back. I ended up getting a 17 millimeter wrench. I actually hooked up one already. Looks pretty good. You know, I think you have to kind of like angle it to where you feel comfortable with these Memphis Shades, you know. They're real sharp. I can't wait to get the Harley back and throw that set on there. I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to work on the second one. You do need a 17 millimeter wrench. If you try to use a knuckle wrench or something like that, what a little crescent wrench, you might start messing with your paint or something like that. So the 17 millimeter really works well on my first one. No issues, no scratches. So I would suggest that you do that. And also make sure you have like a towel or something to put down in case you drop your tool. And I seem to have misplaced. But hold on, found it. So got myself a towel here, just in case I drop the tool. You know, I don't want to scratch my paint on this icon. It's a beautiful color, you know. So just something to consider when you're doing this. It's a little, the nuts, of course, are going to be tight. Oh, this one came off pretty easy. Well, the first one was like pulling teeth. Do not use this as a how-to video. I am not a how-to guy, just talking about my experiences here. So far, it looks like I have them pretty mounted pretty well. Ooh, almost hit. Let me put this down somewhere. And, you know, I think I'm pretty mounted. I'm mounted well as regards to the positioning of my handguards. I will say putting the mirror on is a little bit difficult, only because, you know, after you tighten your mirrors, now you gotta make sure you can see. Quite honestly, I just want to make sure I get it on there decently for the ride down to Daytona. It will be a little cool with the weather, and you know, I just want to have extra wind protection and guard protection on my hands. I do have heated grips, you know, so I'm not really too concerned about that. Also worry about debris, you know, rocks, road debris, things of that nature. So there you have it. It's just that simple. I will say that, again, I'm not a how-to guy. I'm not an expert at this, you know, so don't take my word for it. Please consult your instructions, your manual, a technician's advice, someone who does this every day. Just don't rely on me. I'm not the guy. However, I am learning as I go, and I really do like how they look.
This shit high, boy.
Shawty catch a vibe, yeah, I had to put her on. Bought her 2-seater, yeah, we heading for the sun. Shawty got my heart, I ain't